You're listening to Bottlecast, the official podcast of Bottlecaps. All right, guys. So I want to introduce you to our team here, our Bottlecaps team. First off, we have Corey, VP of Business Development. Next off, we have Anirudh, our CTO. And then we have Madison Patty here, our Director of Digital Sponsors and Partnerships. And myself, Lupe Lopez, Multimedia Director. But we called everybody in because we have a very exciting product that we want to announce. You might have seen some bits where we've launched it and given out some information. But this is an opportunity for our team to kind of discuss the behind the scenes, how this came about, and what we're excited for in the future. So with that said, I'll go ahead and kick it off to Madison first. She has dealt with a lot of the folks that were involved in bringing this to life. So Madison, if you can give us kind of a high level view of how this came about.
Yeah, so I deal a lot with our brand partners. So we activate campaigns, and we've been doing so for the last year and a half. So in that time, what we've learned is that there is a lot of interest around the data that we've collected. So it really started with us collecting the campaign insights. And once there was a little glimpse of the type of information that we could provide just from that end, we started to get a lot of questions. And not just during the campaign period, but in between. So even when they weren't running programming with us, they were wanting to get insights on their products on our platform. So it started to really spark this idea of what would that look like for brands and suppliers and manufacturers in the industry to be able to get this almost live data, and how would that look like to them? What would they want? So that's what really sparked the conversation, and we've really just taken it from there and gotten a lot of feedback from that side of things to build out a brand dashboard to where they can access this information.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. No, it's very exciting that we've been able to branch into this segment of our business. It's actually very neat that we're able to really see and hear feedback from the industry and innovate to provide these sort of services. With that, Corey, take it from there. We started to hear all this from the folks that we work with. How did it look like in the beginning stages of taking this request and building it out?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, it always starts with a seed and then it grows into something that may or may not flourish. And from a business development side of things, we're always listening intently to the different audiences that we serve. Here at Bottlecaps, we like to boast and let the world know that we're here to serve the 3-tier system. So whether that be at the retailer level, the supplier and brands level, or the distributor level, we offer 360-degree solutions for the entire industry. And this just happens to be one of those offerings that we've come to work on and ultimately has come to fruition. So in listening to those brands or those distributor groups about what they need in terms of data, we took notes, and then we started going out there to the industry and saying, all right, who has this? Where does this exist currently? How can we make it better? What are some differentiating factors? Madison already, lent to some of that, which is the timeliness of the data. So we knew right from the bat that the industry had a bit of a gap when it came to how soon or how quickly you can get that data in a viewable, digestible format if you were a brand or you were a distributor group out there in the industry today. And, to our knowledge, that was anywhere from 2, 3, 4 weeks post-dated that you're actually getting to view. So we ultimately said, hey, we need to make this as near live as possible. And that was our first mission. So in setting out to do that, we, have looked around and found groups that have kind of helped us build this into a dashboard type of a view. The data is obviously interesting to the data scientists and the data engineers, but for some of the marketing folks who maybe don't have that background, they may be more visual people. So we knew we needed to make it in a dashboard form. And how do we do that? What are the views that are going to make the most sense? What are views that can be snipped and used in presentations? How do we get this data out there? So, for us, it's listening to our audiences, finding the gaps that are out there in the industry, which then turns into an opportunity. So BottleSense, which is the brand name of our dashboards, was born. It took some time, obviously, in building out and in branding itself, but we really do feel like we have a very good glimpse of some of that subset data and those particular data points that suppliers had been requesting, over the months. And also, it's going to be an evolving product. So we tend to continue to listen and phase this thing out. So we roll out one phase, get feedback on that, make improvements, make enhancements, roll out phase 2, and then phase 3, and so on. So we are nearing the launch of phase 1. We are very, very excited to get it in the hands of actual brands and distributors, and then get some feedback and go from there.
Awesome. No, it's definitely been a team effort, and I love that you mentioned that you had to really think on all levels. Not just folks that are really data heavy, but folks that are looking to explore their data options and really making it a true, not one size fits all, but where anybody can access this and take it and apply it to their needs. So
fantastic. And I would say, I talked about the phases. Another thing to note is, we're going to start with the brand dashboards that is going to supply sales information on those particular brands, consumer insights on the people that are buying those particular brands. But we also have iterations that are going to come out in later phases for our retail stores. So data slices that they're able to view on our dashboard, or a dashboard specifically for the retailer level. There are also, consumer trends that we're really looking at getting into when it comes to where are people buying, when are people buying, what are the demographics of those folks. What we found is these large supplier groups, they want to build and create and innovate products that meet those trend needs or what those trends say. And if we can supply that data, then that really helps them in their efforts on the R&D side and the innovation side.
Nice, fantastic. And that's a great segue into Ani here. Ani, you deal heavily with the team to build these ideas that we get from the industry. We get these requests, and that's half of the battle, right? The other half is actually building this. Can you walk us through what that looked like from beginning to where we are now?
Sure, Lupe. Just leading off from where Corey left off, we had this demand and request from manufacturers and suppliers to see data. Same request, similar kind of request we did get from the stores too. Some of the stores wanted to see different insights on their data to make actionable, to take actions on looking at the data and take actions on what they can do to help serve their customers better. So we looked at all these requests, and then we started off on this new project called BottleSense to give insights into the data. BottleSense, when we started this project, I think the first phase was more about evaluating a tool that we can use to bring all of this data together and then portray it in the right formats for the end users. So we evaluated different business intelligence tools that are out in the market. We looked at Power BI, we looked at Tableau. But after evaluating different tools, we kind of settled on Superset. It is like an open source tool that was built by Airbnb. So we made that decision because we had to consider licensing costs. We wanted to build something that is progressive, fast, and at the same time does not break the bank for us. So we kind of settled down on this tool, and it was a very good decision that we ended up making. Second thing was, finding and trying to build a team around this that can go implement this project. Luckily for us, we had Anand Marajan, who's our director for product support and development. He took the initiative on building up a team for this project, and he was also responsible for eventually implementing this project. So we, start to finish, this whole project took us about 5 months for the first phase, which for us is a big achievement. It's not easy to embark on a data intelligence project within 5 months from start to finish. So that itself is a really big record for us. It's not easy to do something in such a short frame of time, start to finish. So, like Corey mentioned, we built this dashboard. The phase one of this project was about showing metrics and charts to suppliers. My team is also working on a similar project for the stores. We are trying to build insights about different data points for the store owners, specifically on where the customers are coming in from, what they're doing, when they're purchasing, what they're looking at. Just trying to give the power to the store owners to look at all this data and then take actions based on that data. So this is what we've been working on. I'll let Anand talk about some of the challenges we had during this project and how we overcame that. Anand, do you want to take the lead and just talk a little bit about the challenges we had?
Yeah, sure. So one of the biggest challenges is, collecting the data and making sure it's all cleaned up, right? We have so many stores across the country, so that's, a million different data points that we have. So, compiling all of those, cleaning those, removing all the redundant information, and then, the performance, that to us was the biggest challenge. It's pretty unheard of in this industry or pretty much anywhere in the world where it's near live data, right? So we schedule this every morning. So the data that we have on the dashboard is less than 24 hours old. So it's near real time. So to get all of that, pieces figured out, collecting the data, cleaning those up, scheduling, and then the performance, we don't want to build a product that takes an hour to load, right? We wanted it to be as seamless as possible, as quick as possible. So we were able to do all of that. The other big challenge was, with different supplier groups, the requests are different, right? So coming up with a certain template that we could use across the board and then building the dashboard around it, that was our biggest challenge. And like Ani mentioned, all of this process from start to finish, it took us only 5 months. So that included, requirement gathering, building, testing, QA, all of that stuff. So, really excited to see where this goes.
Wow, 5 months. There's laundry sitting in my room for longer than 5 months. I'm kidding.
Hey, Lupe, just to add, in this whole process, in our team building process, we did have to hire a data scientist. So we onboarded, we brought in Jaspreet Kaur. She's our data scientist that's been working on this project with Anand. So she's helped us a lot with. She brought in a lot of experience with reporting and business intelligence from our past experience. Using her experience with different industries that she's worked on, we were able to get this done in a much faster time frame.
We started the project too. So Jasmeet came on board, during the initial phases of the project. So there was a training piece going on in addition to building the product itself.
Wow, assembling the A team. That's fantastic to hear, guys, and definitely appreciate you sharing, all the hard work that the team, did together to deliver this product in such a short amount of time. And with that said, I do want to segue back to Corey here. Corey, why is it that we, really prioritize this, and why should folks, care about this sort of tool or this sort of product, and why now? What is the industry telling us?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the pandemic was an interesting situation. We here at Bottle Caps have been on the e-commerce train for quite some time, and while there are a few of us out there in the industry, it always takes a little nudge sometimes for all the players and all the parties involved to really buy in. So during the pandemic, e-commerce came to light. E-commerce and beer, wine, and spirits was advanced probably 5 or 10 years in a matter of 12 months. And so I think the timing of this, lends to the need for e-commerce as a whole to evolve. The more e-commerce sales and shopping that occurs, the more e-commerce data that becomes available. And with the more data at our disposal, you can make better decisions and make more firm, long-lasting decisions within your own industry or within your own tier of the 3 tier all the way down to your own, company. And so I think a glimpse into e-com as a whole, Bottle Caps being able to spread its wings across, multiple states. I think we're in 43 states today across the U.S. Now entering into the Canadian market as well. We've got a really good, coverage of the North American map, and so it's very much representative of the industry as a whole, not some regional or very hyper targeted subset of data. And so I think that makes it, very valuable and useful to the industry. And so from here, again, it is an evolving product. It is a test and learn environment, as all of this e-commerce experience has been. And so we're really excited to launch it to market, but then to, as I said before, listen and learn. Once it's in the hands of these brands and these distributors and even these retailers, then they're going to be able to use it for what it's worth today, and then also help us to customize and advance this product into the future. So I think it's going to open minds to what's possible with data. So things that they never have thought before, or data sets that they've never really, thought they needed, are going to start to come to light. And then they're going to bring that information to us, and our job is to make it actionable. Our job is to make it digestible and in a form that they can actually use it and apply it and do that expeditiously. And that's what we're good at, right? That's where our business lies, is servicing the 3 tier from a technology, data, solutions, platform. So we're very, very excited to get it out there. We're going to be rolling out in the coming weeks. So suppliers, distributor groups alike, we'll start with, and they'll be able to, request a demo, get a live presentation of the product in hand, and then decide whether or not a subscription service is something that they're interested in. We've already gotten great feedback, so we think there are going to be a lot of groups out there that jump on the train early. But as momentum picks up, again, so will the product. So, if somebody is currently interested in the product, they can find out more information on bottlecaps.com, or they can, send in a request to one of our team members, and they'll schedule a demo or a conversation to be had. But all in all, it's come together, fairly seamlessly, as they said, in a 5-month span. It's been fast and furious, and now it's just to see this thing in action.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing, all the hard work that we've been doing. We're all very excited to launch this. As Corey mentioned, if you want more information, visit us at bottlecaps.com or reach out to us directly. And with that, we'll let you guys go. And thank you all for joining the call. Thanks for listening to Bottlecast, the official podcast of Bottle Caps. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.